The Resilience Across Borders podcast is intended for education, support, and inspiration. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer any professional, medical, or health advice. If you are dealing with or suffering from any psychological or medical conditions, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Hello and welcome back to Resilience Across Borders podcast. I'm your host, Rachid Zahidi, and also author of the Emo Gym Journal, which is an abbreviation for Emotional Gym. And that is a guide and workbook to get clear and stay focused on priorities and institute better habits. In today's episode, we will talk about how to stop looking for flaws and the art of seeing the whole picture. So it's easy to become a fault finder, both with ourselves and with others. Our minds are wired to spot what's wrong before spotting what's right. It's a survival mechanism that once kept us safe from danger. But in relationships, at work, and overall personal growth, it often causes unnecessary stress, disconnection, and dissatisfaction. So, learning to stop looking for flaws doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means training our perception to see the whole truth, not just the imperfections. As is customary, here are some practical strategies to shift from constant criticism to constructive awareness, along with examples for how to apply each. Number one, practice both or and thinking. Instead of labeling something as all good or all bad, practice seeing both sides at once. A person can be caring and imperfect at the same time. A project can be incomplete and still valuable at the same time. So, for instance, if your partner forgets something important, rather than jump into they don't care, remind yourself they forgot and they still show up for me in other ways. This helps your brain integrate the full picture, reducing the emotional charge of small mistakes. And also the likelihood of turning those small mistakes into bigger issues, and which spills over into other aspects of life and can ruin relationships. Anyways, number two, shift from judgment to curiosity. Flaw finding is judgment based. Curiosity is growth based. When you notice a flaw, pause and ask, what else could be true here? Or what might I not be seeing? For instance, if a coworker misses a deadline, instead of assuming laziness, ask them what challenges they faced. You may discover new information that builds empathy instead of resentment. Number three, retain your attention through gratitude. Our attention determines our perception. If you consciously train your mind to notice what's working, your awareness naturally balances out. Again, this is because practice. The more you practice this, the more it becomes second nature, and a lot of times happens unconsciously. I give you an example, personal example, like the more I practice gratitude, the more positivity I see in my day, the more it counters that negativity bias that we have built in. For instance, at the end of each day, list 3 things that went right, even small things. Over time, this conditions your brain to see progress and goodness more easily than flaws or failures. Again, this is not ignoring reality, but this is just balancing things out. So you're not stuck in the negative continuously and beating yourself down or beating others down, even when not really necessary. Number 4, replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Often, the way we judge others mirrors how harshly we judge ourselves. Self-compassion disarms that internal critic. So, for instance, when you make a mistake, replace I'm so stupid with I made an error and I can learn from it. By softening your self-talk, you train your mind to see imperfection as human, not shameful. Number 5, use the zoom out perspective or strategy. So flaw finding happens when you're zoomed in too close. Step back and see the larger picture. Progress, effort, and intention matter more than isolated imperfections, especially effort and progress and action moving forward. Keep moving forward. So if you're, say, repainting a room and one wall isn't perfect, zoom out and notice how much better the entire space feels compared to before. That's progress. The brain calms when it recognizes the larger and the broader truth. Number 6, reframe perfectionism as progress. So looking for flaws often hides perfectionism, a fear that nothing is ever enough or nothing is ever good enough. Replace the goal of perfect with better. So before starting any task, for instance, decide in advance what good enough looks like. That preset boundary keeps you from endlessly nitpicking and helps you celebrate completion instead of chasing an illusion. Number 7, recognize the emotional root or origin. Most flaw finding is emotional, not logical. It's about control, or it's about fear, or it's about insecurity. Naming the emotion disarms it. So, if you notice yourself being overly critical of someone, pause and ask, what emotion am I trying to manage right now? Maybe it's fear of being disappointed or feeling out of control. Recognizing this allows you to address the real issue instead of projecting it outward. So the goal isn't to become blind to flaws, it's to stop fixating on them. When you train your perception to see nuance, to see effort, and to see beauty alongside imperfection, you cultivate more peace, you cultivate more resilience, and you cultivate genuine connection. So as always, thank you for tuning into the Resilience Across Borders podcast. If you're enjoying this podcast and finding it useful and helpful to you, please share it, please review it, and make sure to pick up a copy of the companion journal that I mentioned, Emo Gym. And you can follow the blog posts and review and new episodes as they get added. The URL for that is at resilience.com, ATRESILIENCE.com. Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others and stay resilient.